Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my WWE NXT UK reviews for December 19th, 2018. These are going to be episodes 17 and 18. I'm getting very close to being caught up to NXT UK, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully, it stays that way. But, yeah, now that I've kind of gone through that, let me kind of preview episode 17. I'm really excited to watch episode 17. We're gonna have the Rhea Ripley's first ever NXT UK Women's Championship defense when she defends the championship against Isla Dawn. The match that actually was supposed to happen at Evolution, or was rumored to happen, but then obviously because they didn't air the episode when Rhea Ripley won the championship, it didn't happen. Rhea Ripley still defended the title. I don't remember who she defended it against because she did it in like the dark match. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. I obviously like to watch Rhea Ripley wrestle, and obviously Isla Dawn I think is pretty good. So I think this could be a hell of a NXT UK Women's Championship match. Obviously, we're gonna have some more stuff happen with the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. So I'm actually really looking forward to watching this episode. And now that I've kind of previewed it a little bit, let's get right into the actual episode itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch both episodes, and after I watch each one, I'll review it and then just combine them all into a big video. So now that I've kind of explained what's happening, let's get right into the actual episode itself. Okay, so starting off with NXT UK episode 17 that aired on December 19th, 2018. We had Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph on commentary for this show. And the show kicked off with a match. It was Jordan Devlin versus Mike Hitchman. And I actually was kind of surprised to see this match because both of them have been presented as heels, but Mike Hitchman clearly was the babyface in this match. And I actually thought they worked a pretty good match here. There was actually some points where I thought Mike Hitchman was going to get the win, but he didn't. Jordan Devlin ended up getting the win with the Irish Curse, which is pretty much his, fireman's carry into a Michinoku driver. Except this time when he did it, it looked like more of just like a Death Valley driver in a way. So I thought that was kind of weird in a way. It looked kind of unique. So yeah. I thought this match was pretty good way to open up the show. Afterwards, Jordan Devlin gets on the mic and talks about how he's the ace of NXT UK. I thought he was going to get interrupted by somebody, but it didn't happen. But I still thought this was a pretty good showcase for Jordan Devlin. And then Mustache Mountain are backstage, and they talk about how, even though they've had other things going on, the main focus is to become the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions, and they're going to prove that in the match tonight, or at least on this episode, but you get what I'm saying. And then Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews get interviewed, and they talk about their upcoming match with James Drake and Zach Gibson, and how they're looking forward to becoming the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions. I thought this was a good interview. And then we had Fabian Eichner versus Eddie Ryan. Eddie Ryan was wrestling in front of his hometown in Plymouth, New England. Sorry, Plymouth, England. No, New England. And I actually thought Eddie Ryan looked good. I hope, they find a spot for him. And they had like a nice little back and forth match here. Fabian Eichner hit a really cool tilt-a-whirl backbreaker onto Eddie Ryan, but eventually he throws him into the steps and hits a double knees into the steps and hits a spin-in sit-out powerbomb for the win. And I actually thought it was a pretty good match and a pretty good showcase for Fabian Eichner. And then Travis Bank does a video package talking about how Gallus tried to take him out on, I believe it was the third episode of NXT UK, but they failed to get they failed to finish the job, and he already took out Wolfgang. And now he wants to take out Joe Coffey. And he talks about how Joe Coffey's already overlooking him, saying that he wants to go after Pete Dunne's NXT UK Championship. But he's going to find out that that's going to be a big mistake, because when he takes out Joe Coffey. He's going to move on and become the next NXT UK champion. I thought this was a very good video package, and we find out that that match is going to happen on the next episode with Travis Banks versus Joe Coffey. I'm really excited about that match, and I can't wait for it. And then we had Mustache Mountain versus Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley. I thought this was a good tag team match here. Tyson T-Bone, tries to use his boxing skills to take out Tyler Bate, but Tyler Bate uses Bop and Band to take out Tyson T-Bone, and then eventually Trent Seven gets tagged in. He lays out Tyson T-Bone with a DDT, but then eventually Tyson T-Bone just waylays Trent Seven with a wicked right hand, and Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley get the heat on Trent Seven. Saxon Huxley hit this really cool high crossbody splash while Trent Seven was trapped in the ropes. I thought that looked pretty cool. But then eventually, Tyson T-Bone takes a cheap shot at Tyler Bate. And what I liked about this is Tyler Bate sold this for a little while, showing that this was a very powerful punch. I thought that was quite good. But then Tyler Bate gets the hot tag on Tyson T-Bone, and he hits Bop and Bane on him. And he pretty much runs wild onto Tyson T-Bone. But then eventually Mustache Mountain hit their rebound clothesline into the half and half suplex, or the snap half and half suplex onto Saxon Huxley for the win. And they did a thing where Saxon Huxley and Tyson T-Bone had some miscommunication in this match. I thought it made sense for Mustache Mountain to win since they haven't had a big win in a while, and obviously they're more of a formidable tag team than Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley are. And I quite frankly just like my Mustache Mountain more, so there's that, because I expect them to be in the NXT UK Tag Team Championship match whenever it happens. And then Dave Mastiff gets interviewed, and he talks about his victory over Eddie Dennis, and he talks about his aspirations to go after the NXT UK Championship. But then he gets attacked by Eddie Dennis from behind. He throws him and beats the crap out of him and says that he's not done with Dave Mastiff yet. I thought this was a very good attack, and then obviously this makes sense because Eddie Dennis is just a psychopath and wants to go after Dave Mastiff. Then we had a video package for Pete Dunne showing his dominance in WWE, winning the championship and his title reign and stuff. I thought it was very good. Obviously made sense because people haven't seen Pete Dunne in a while. Because I think when these shows were being taped, Pete Dunne was doing the NXT tapings, building up NXT TakeOver War Games 2. So I thought this made sense. And then we had the main event. It was an NXT UK Women's Championship match. NXT UK Women's Champion Rhea Ripley versus Isla Dawn. I thought this was a pretty good main event here. I thoroughly enjoyed this NXT UK Women's Championship match. Isla Dawn gets the advantage early by out-wrestling Rhea Ripley, but then eventually Rhea Ripley hits a wicked dropkick onto Isla Dawn and targets the back for a while of Isla Dawn and just beats the crap out of her. She gets that reverse Texas Cloverleaf on her, but then eventually Isla Dawn starts to mount a comeback, and she ends up hitting her inverted suplex that she's been using as a finisher, but Rhea Ripley kicks out of it, which I thought did a really good job of putting over that finisher because she was the first person to kick out of it to my knowledge. But then eventually, Isla Dawn goes for a kick to the head, but Rhea Ripley counters into the Riptide and gets the win and retains her NXT UK Women's Championship. And I obviously thought that made sense because Rhea Ripley just won the championship. You don't want to take the title off her right away. And I do like that they're protecting her finisher because when somebody kicks out of it, it's going to be a big deal. And I imagine the first time someone's going to kick out of it is probably going to be because I imagine she's going to go into NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool as the NXT UK Women's Champion. I think when she has a match on that show and defends the championship, someone's going to kick out of it. And then obviously it's going to be a big deal because they protected that finisher. So I thought that made sense. And I actually thought this was a really good episode of NXT UK. It wasn't anything fancy. I forgot to mention they did do some interviews afterwards where Mustache Mountain talk about how they're going to be the first NXT UK Tag Team Champions because of the accolades and stuff. And Rhea Ripley says that she plans on being NXT UK Women's Champion for a long time. And now that I've gone over that stuff, like I said, I thought this was a really good episode of NXT UK. It was a pretty simple episode, but I thought it had some nice matches on it. I liked the main event. I liked Mustache Mountain versus Tyson T-Bone and Saxon Huxley. I liked Jordan Devlin versus Mike Hitchman. I liked, the progression of Fabian Eichner's character. And I enjoyed the setup of the next episode with a Travis Banks video package and the interview with Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. I'm looking forward to watching those matches. They also announced that Toni Storm's going to be back on the next episode. I can't wait to see what she does when she comes back. So I thought this was a really good episode. I'm just going to give this a B. I thought it was really good. And now that I've reviewed this episode, let me review episode 18. Okay, so now on to NXT UK for episode 18 that aired on December 19th, 2018. Started with Toni Storm's return. She has a match with Charlie Morgan, and she beats her with the Storm Zero. It was a good match, but it was mainly just there to kind of, reestablish Toni Storm and stuff, but I thought it was well done. I do want to talk a little bit, though, since this is the first time I've, Toni Storm's had, a match of anything, since I know about her leaked nude photos. I feel bad for Toni Storm because she was supposed to do some sort of, autograph signing and stuff, and then they pulled her from that because of this, which I don't think is pretty stupid that they did that. She deleted all of her social media accounts. And it's just a bad situation for any women's wrestler now, and because they have to be worried about what they take pictures of and stuff, and they have to be worried if it's going to get leaked out or not. So I think it's just really disgusting for them to do that, and it's good that she has support from her peers and her co-workers and stuff. I hope this doesn't affect Toni Storm's career in WWE, because I think she has a lot of potential. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I touched on that. And then Gallus does a video package just kind of showing everything they ever did in their since NXT UK started. Then we had a tag team match. It was Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews versus James Drake and Zach Gibson. I thought this was a really good tag team match. It was very fun. Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews get the advantage early in the matchup, and then James Drake and Zach Gibson take over. I really like their tag team move where Zach Gibson does the backbreaker, and then James Drake does the springboard, chop to the throat or whatever on the outside. I think that's really cool, and I hope they keep doing that. Zach Gibson hits a one ticket onto I believe Mark Andrews. But they get the heat for a while onto Flash Morgan Webster, and then Mark Andrews gets the hot tag and hits a double stun dog millionaire onto Drake and Gibson. But they hit a lot of really cool moves in this match, I thought. And then eventually, when Mark Andrews is about to get the victory with the shooting star press that he has a name for, but I obviously don't remember the name of the finisher. Fabian Eichner comes out and he throws Flash Morgan Webster into the steps, and so this causes, and then he goes to hit the double knees into the steps, but then Mark Andrews takes him out with I believe a suicide dive or a drop kick, I don't exactly remember, and then he ends up hitting the shooting star press on James Drake, and as this was happening, Zach Gibson had made a tag, but Mark Andrews didn't realize this. So then what happens is Zach Gibson puts Mark Andrews in the Chandler Gates when he goes for the cover, and Mark Andrews ends up tapping out. So I actually like the way they did all this. But then afterwards, Fabian Eichner smells blood in the water and goes to attack Mark Andrews, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. He's going to lay him out with that spin and set out powerbomb. But then Flash Morgan Webster makes the save, and Webster and Andrews take out Fabian Eichner and send him packing. So I actually like the way they did all this. I thought it was a way for James Drake and Zach Gibson to get a win, and it was also a way to continue the Mark Andrews Fabian Eichner feud. So I actually like I said, I thought this was very well done. Then we had Killer Kelly versus Nina Samuels. I actually kind of was intrigued by this match because both these women had not had a win in NXT UK yet. They've been kind of like the enhancement talent for the Toni Storms and such. So I was very intrigued to see who was actually going to pull out a win here. And I actually thought it was going to be Killer Kelly, actually, because, Killer Kelly, has been featured a little bit more. She was just recently in the Mae Young Classics, but no, they actually gave the win to Nina Samuels. She ended up winning with a Hushi Karoshi, and I actually was kind of surprised about that. Wasn't mad about it or anything, but I actually thought Killer Kelly was going to get the win here. I actually wanted her to get the win, but they gave the win to Nina Samuels, which I can kind of see why. But you know, I actually thought this match was pretty intriguing because you didn't really know who was going to win. And it was kind of a chance for these women to kind of showcase what they had, and they actually are pretty capable wrestlers, so I actually like this. And then you had Fabian Eichner get interviewed, and he's upset that he was laid out, so what he wants to do is find a tag team partner and become the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions. I think this makes sense because he probably doesn't want Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster to win the championship, so I actually thought this made sense. And then we had Joe Coffey versus Travis Banks. For some reason, he didn't come out with Gallus. I'm just going to assume that, you know, they were banned from ringside or something. But I actually kind of like the fact that he didn't in a way, though, because this kind of makes Joe Coffey look like a worthy contender to Pete Dunne's NXT UK title, where he can just go out there and just win a match by himself. And I thought they had a hell of a main event here. Travis Banks was very aggressive in this match, really wanted to get his revenge onto Joe Coffey and hit some really nice double stomps and drop kicks and stuff off on the apron, and it was very fast paced. And then he goes for a suicide dive on the outside. Joe Coffey catches him into an uppercut, and then he swings him into the guardrail, and he just methodically picks up the shoulder of Travis Banks. He tries to mount somewhat of a comeback by hitting a double stomp across the back, a double stomp into the corner. But Joe Coffey continues to pick up the shoulder of Travis Banks. He spears him into the corner. But then eventually Joe Coffey hits the Enziguri. He went for which is like the discus clothesline. He went for the first time, but Travis Banks blocked it. But because of the injured shoulder, it ended up giving out, so he was just able to hit it anyways, which is kind of something different. When he tried to go for his finisher once, he just went for it again and he hit it. So I thought that was kind of cool. And that was pretty much the end of NXT UK for episode 18. I thought this was a great episode here. It was very simple, it was very fast paced, and I really enjoyed it. I liked everything that was on it. I really liked the way they continued the Fabian Eichner Mark Andrews feud, and I really liked that tag team match with James Drake and Zach Gibson versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. I liked Tony Storm's return. I liked Joe Coffey versus Travis Banks, and I liked Killer Kelly versus Killer Kelly versus Nina Samuels. So overall, I thought this was a great episode. I'm going to give it a B+. I enjoyed it maybe a little bit more than NXT UK episode 17, but that was still a really good episode. So I'm giving this a B+, and that's that. And that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers or No One the Talkinator YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.